Hey guys, in this video I wanna do a quick review about NIS America and limited run marketplaces. This one is of course for those who want to get the physical games or some collector's editions, pretty much targeted for collectors. Let's begin with NIS America. Almost everything they release has a collector edition, and the first one I got from them was this Labyrinth of Galeria, my favorite one out of 3 so far. Now what can I say? First and foremost, I need to clarify that I live in Mexico. That is important to some degree because for me a good number of times it's better to get these games directly from the USA stores. On that front, if you live in USA, most likely you are going to get your games a couple of days prior to its official release, or the same day it is being released. I say that because oftentimes they send the packages a couple of weeks prior to put these things on stores. Needless to say that I have received my packages without any issue or damage, but it takes around 3-4 weeks. Perhaps this is useful for those who live in other countries like me, because sometimes people who work on customs, with all due respect, are a bunch of shitty people. And I say that because a good number of times games and stuff like that gets damaged in those places. Now these ones have arrived well because they can pass customs without getting opened. And the way they are packaged is quite good. They contain some protection, your order, and that's it. Now it may seem like everything is all good, but if there is something they need to improve is customer support. I had a little issue with a card where I wasn't able to charge the Cry Machina game, and I wanted to use the points they offer, so I sent a request, got no reply, a couple of days later sent another message as a friendly reminder, and yep, you guessed it right, no reply whatsoever. It is definitely unacceptable, and it made me wonder what is going to happen if for some reason the package disappears. I am a happy-go-lucky person, so far it has worked. As for limited run, they are a good option for games that were digital only, because they make physical copies of games, or sometimes they also bring whole titles. In this store I have acquired a good number, going from single games up to several collector's editions. Here it is fair to say that they have a kind of negative fame, oftentimes with the most basic of things that shouldn't be a problem, and that is customer support. Now, in my experience and my happy-go-lucky nature, I have received every single thing that I bought in this place. Now, with all this experience, what can I say? If you buy a game that has been already produced and they have a stock, they arrive quite fast, somewhere around 1 week. Consider once again that I live in another country, so that is quite standard for me. If they are in the phase of pre-orders, oftentimes it takes like 3-6 months. And if you go for really packed things like this Castlevania Collector's Edition, I didn't see this thing after 1 year in like 3-4 months. Now in my case, it doesn't really bother me because the backlog I have is not going to be finished quite fast, so I don't have the urgency to get these things. Just to clarify, I am not being a sponsor nor anything like that. I share this information because I believe it is worth sharing these experiences and giving them a bit the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes building these things can take a lot of time. I mean, I work designing lamps for vehicles, so doing the design, preparing the milling and all that stuff takes a lot of time. So it doesn't surprise me why these things take ages to arrive. As for the packages, they have arrived without any issue, after a lot of time, but in perfect conditions. And something that surprised me a lot is that this Castlevania had a nice reinforcement on the bots, by adding extra protection on the corners. And that's all folks. There are some other stores that may be worth talking about, but I've gotten one game, so I will think about that after I get at least 3 of them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.